Hi everyone. So a few weeks ago we got a new puppy. We've had her, I guess actually maybe close to a month or two. Her name is Nebula. She's a healer mix. We got her because our current dog has some declining health, so we wanted to get her while having him around, maybe teach some traits and kind of blend them together for a bit. It's been quite an experience. We got the first dog when he was a puppy, but not quite as young, so having her as a puppy as young as she was, we got her at 8 weeks, is a little bit different. And the housewife's and parents' worst nightmare came true. So we've had lots of accidents in the house, which everyone would expect. And as a busy working mom, I have a robotic vacuum. I'm gonna call it the robo vacuum, or the shark. We have a shark, not a Roomba. And one morning, I went into my son's room, and literally worst nightmare ever. My shark had found the accident. As a person who thrives on trying to reuse and recycle, I guess you could kind of say, and just be thrifty, I didn't expect my first thought to be, let's throw it away. But also, let me tell you, it was a mess. And, yep, I did not want to deal with it. What went through my mind, a lot of things went through my mind, as you can imagine. But growing up on a dairy farm, I've dealt with enough poop in my life, and I worked as a CNA, and I'm a nurse, and I was like, okay, what's one pile of dog poop? Like, at the end of the day, that's what this is. So I can do this. And quite frankly, I can't live without my robotic vacuum because it's what helps keep my floors clean, and I need it. That's kind of the kind of person I am. I hate having dirty floors, and I don't have the time or the energy to vacuum or sweep them personally every single day. So that's why I got a robotic vacuum. So I mustered up the energy and did it. So I'm going to go through what I did, how I did it, and I'm going to use specific brands because these brands and these things are what saved my life. I'm not saying other things won't do the trick, but this is what did it for me. And I'm hoping that if this worst nightmare happens to somebody else, maybe this video will help you get through it as well. So first things first, luckily, my son, yes, he has a couple small rugs in his room, but he has wood floors. So I used some good old toilet paper, got the big chunks up, and Swiffer wet jet saved my life. If you don't have a Swiffer wet jet and you have kids or animals, I highly recommend a Swiffer wet jet. I don't know honestly if there are off brands of Swiffer wet jet, but Swiffer wet jet made cleaning that room so nice. Plus it made it smell good. Because of the person I am, I went through with a disinfectant wipe and cleaned the heck out of that floor anyway, so took away that nice Swiffer smell. But it just made the cleanup process go so fast. I basically used the Swiffer wet jet and cleaned the floor soaked the floor essentially, let it sit for a few minutes, scrubbed it, and it was basically clean. One of the first times. Shh. Be quiet for a second. Yeah, I'm talking about when Nebby pooped in your room. Yeah. And that part was done. Then next is this guy. This guy, we call him Tromper. This whole back, which is actually miraculously clean, was disgusting. I basically sanitized the heck out of this. But what I did is I got this brush. Like I said, I grew up on a dairy farm. This came from my dad's milk house. I borrowed it many years ago. And, my dad sold the dairy cows many years ago as well. So I never gave it back. It has moved from Wisconsin to Montana with us. It has really hard, bristly brushes. I don't even know if they make them like this anymore. But this right here is what saved my life. Cleaning the heck out of this thing. I scrubbed and scrubbed and scrubbed. What else helped me with this? Dawn dish soap. There's no better dish soap than Dawn dish soap. I don't care what you think out there. Dawn is your friend. So I'd get this wet, throw a bunch of Dawn on there, and just literally scrub the heck out of this. I tried to get the surface levels as clean as I could, and then I started taking apart. I took this part off. This is where all the contents go. This is the brush. Let me tell you, that brush was terrible to get clean. I may have destroyed one of my daughter's scissors, but it was well worth it. Like I said, this vacuum to this day now works really well enough. So, you know what? That's what it is. And like I said, I just scrubbed the heck out of it. The hardest part, to be honest, to get clean were these wheels. If you look close, you can see every wheel, they're rubber, every single wheel has like a little groove. That sucked. And at that point, I had been cleaning this thing for quite some time. And I was over it. I hate the smell of dog poop. I didn't want to be doing this to begin with. This was how I started my Saturday. It was a weekend. It was a Saturday morning. So, my husband, he's a auto body guy. He loves all things expensive, essentially. So, Snap-on. He decided, because I'm a gardener, to buy me this water nozzle thing. It's Snap-on. I've always thought, why do I need something so gosh darn fancy? Until I needed it for this. So I don't usually condone Snap-on for most things. Yes, it's a good brand, but I think it's way overpriced. What I like about it is it's all warranty. That's the only thing I care about. But with this nozzle, I was able to have, and then this is like a fire hose. Little frozen right now because it's cold in Montana, so I'm not gonna play too hard with this because I've left this outside. There's probably still water in it and it's frozen, so there's that. But this little guy adjusts pressure. This guy's like a fire hose, so I could get the perfect amount of pressure and a tiny little streamline to clean out these and basically get, so I was getting in all those little grooves perfectly without essentially soaking this whole thing. By the time I was done, this was a pretty darn wet vacuum cleaner, but it wasn't soaked. But because of this fancy nozzle, I was able to clean these wheels really well. And then I used my handy dandy brush that was filled with Dawn dish soap. So by the time I was done, I got it all clean. I'm sure there's probably still poop somewhere in there. I don't know. Haven't found it. I feel like I did a pretty darn good job. But I gotta give a shout out to Shark because one, this thing sucked up enough poop, and then it dealt with a lot of scrubbing, and it was upside down on a gravel driveway getting scrubbed on, and it got a lot of water on it and a lot of soap, and then I drip dried it, and then I put it on the charger and I made it run the next, I probably let it dry and was a little afraid to use it for a few days, but a few days later I turned it on and voila, it works. So shout out to Shark. Thank you for giving me a vacuum that could do that. Your next job is to get a vacuum that can detect the poop and go around it. But yeah, so Shark, yay. A good hose nozzle because those wheels suck to clean. A really hard bristle brush. Dawn. No, nothing better. There's a reason they use it for the ducks. And Swiffer Wet Jet. That's what made this possible. And saved me the money of buying another one. And made this video what it is. Hope to never have to do that again. And hope that nobody needs this video. But I'm sure somebody out there will unfortunately find it useful. Have a great day.